The following points have been taken into consideration while teaching the lesson. The session is based mainly on one lesson, Secondary 2, Digital, Unit 1, Lesson 1, Egyptian Knowledge Bank EKB Study. It is a student-centered lesson. The guidelines of the teacher's book have been followed. Asking the students to read learning objectives is essential as they need to know what they will have achieved by the end of the unit. Students have been asked critical thinking questions that promote higher-order thinking skills. Motivation has been used throughout the whole session. Some correction techniques have been used. Concept-checking questions were asked to check that students perceived instructions given. Elicitation has been used. Teacher's talking time, TTT, has been minimized while students' talking time, SIT, has been maximized. Students have been given fair chances to participate.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you, everybody? How is everything? How are you, Aziz, Hagar, Maryam, and Mohammed? And thank you so much for joining me. Now let's start our lesson. Here's the lesson, New Hello English for Secondary Schools, Year 2, Term 1, Students Book, Unit 1, and Lesson 1. As you see here, the lesson is about staying healthy, and we are going to discuss different things. Let me start by reading the learning outcomes or objectives. So please, Aziz, read the first one.
Reading a poster about how to perform first aid.
Thank you. Mohammed.
Writing a persuasive email to a friend.
Thank you. Hagar.
Listening and newspapers about medical support for athletes and the explanation of the immune system.
Thank you. Maryam.
Speaking, suggesting solution to problems, persuading.
Persuading. Thank you so much. Mohammed, please.
Language, present and past necessity and lack of necessity.
Actually, present and past necessity and lack of necessity. This will be our grammar lesson. And the last point, life skills, which is resilience. Now let's start here. Before we start, let me ask you two questions. We were supposed actually to be in class with a big group of students, and we were supposed to discuss this in pairs, but thank God for everything. Now we are going to do that together. So let's have it like a discussion, the four of us, the four of you. What can we do to stay strong and healthy? Yeah, what do you think? What can we do to stay strong and healthy? What's your opinion? Hello, Hagar. I need to hear everybody.
To be strong and healthy, we first we should eat healthy food, keeping our hands and our body healthy and clean, especially in this Corona era.
That's COVID-19. Okay, I agree with you.
Yes.
Fine, thank you. Thank you so much, Mohammed. What do you think?
I personally, I think the key to staying strong and healthy is to maintain a healthy diet and practice personal hygiene, but also regularly exercising the body to keep, all of the systems working and, not causing any slack or laziness on part of the human being.
I love that. And I hope that you do this. I hope. Or just talk about it without doing it. Huh? You do it? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, how can other people help us to stay healthy? Do you feel that other people can help us to stay healthy? What do you think, Maryam?
Yes.
How?
Advise us to do more exercise and walk more and eating healthy food, not eating unhealthy food, and sleep early.
Very good. That's an excellent idea. Going to bed early is an excellent idea. Aziz, what do you think?
I think they can help us to stay healthy by giving us advice. That's all.
Just give us advice.
Yeah.
And leave it for us to just to do it or not. A lovely idea. Thank you so much. Now let's move to the second exercise. As you see here in this exercise, you are going to match the words in the box with their definitions. So we've got some words here, and we've got the words here, and we are going to match them with their definitions. So now I would like somebody to tell me what exactly you are going to do. Yes, Mohammed?
I'm going to pick the definition of the word and match it to the word itself on the right column.
Thank you so much. You've got like 1 minute to think, and then you are going to match the words.
I'm going to match all of them or just one word?
All of them. All of them. Or think about them, and then I'll ask you one by one, okay, to tell me about the right answer. Okay?
Okay then.
So let's start. Okay, Hagar, the first one, away.
A way of doing something in with a skill, a technique.
Thank you. Okay, Az.
This word describes an illness or injury that is very serious, severe.
Thank you. Mariam.
This word means the same as do an action, perform.
Thank you. Mohammed.
Do something because something else has been done. React.
Thank you. And Az, please.
A disease caused by a virus or bacteria, infection.
Thank you so much. So after we do that, let's submit and check our answers. All is correct. Thank you so much. Now we come to the reading part. In this exercise, you are going to read the poster about how to do first aid, how to perform first aid. Let's see. So what you are going to do is that you are going to go through the text quickly, okay? I will give you like 5 minutes to read it, to read the 7 points, okay? And after we read, we are going to answer this question. What does the poster tell us about helping people? Okay, actually the answer is here. Okay, maybe it is 1 or 2 answers, maybe the 3 are right, maybe 1 is right and the other 2 is correct. So we'll discuss this together. Fine. So I'm going to give you about, as I told you, about 5 minutes to do that. So how to perform first aid, and the question is, what does the poster tell us about helping people?
B, you should help an ill or injured person, but only in the correct way.
Thank you so much. What do you think?
A and B?
So it is A and B. Read the first one, if you please.
You can help an ill or injured person, but don't hurt yourself.
Thank you so much. So what's the right answer? It is A and B, as you see, as Hagar mentioned, and as Mohammed mentioned too. Of course, if you look at number 3, always call the emergency services before helping an ill or injured person. Okay. So what do you think here? I guess.
I mean, you could lose valuable time by waiting for them to answer while the person is suffering an attack. So I personally believe it's important to issue first aid first, and then, you know, talk to emergency services about providing care in the future. But in the moment, I think it's important to issue immediate first aid to help the patient.
Excellent. Thanks so much. So you don't like the third idea of always calling the emergency service, which is 123. That's very good. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's start by reading this, because this will help us to answer the other questions. I would like you, Az, please, to read the first paragraph.
If you find an ill or injured person, you must check the area around them first to make sure it isn't dangerous. Then move closer to the person and look carefully at him or her. Does he or she seem to be very ill? Does he or she have severe injuries?
Thank you so much. But here, I like this. The word is closer. You know, it's like near, closer. Thank you so much. Mariam, please.
If the person is awake but not bleeding, you have to ask him or her how he or she feels, what happened. Check his or her body for signs of injury or infection. You don't have to touch the person's body to do this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So Mohammed, please. Hello, Mohammed.
Paragraph 3.
If you don't mind.
Okay. If the person Okay. If the person doesn't reply, touch his or her shoulder or foot and shout to see if he or she reacts. And remember to check for normal breathing.
Thank you so much. Hagar, please, the next point.
If the person isn't breathing, someone must call the emergency services immediately. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much. And Az?
If you know how to perform CPR, you have to do this to help the person start breathing again. However, you mustn't do CPR unless the person is lying on his or her back on a flat surface, such as the floor.
Thank you so much. Do you know the meaning of the word CPR?
Yes.
Yeah, what is it?
Cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
Thank you so much. Can you explain it in another way?
It's a way to refresh someone's heart.
Yeah. Thank you so much for refreshing somebody's heart.
You force.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so Mohammed, read the next part. Place your hand.
Okay. Place your hand on the center of the person's chest. Put your other hand on top of the first and lock your fingers together. Make sure that your shoulders are above your hands.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It explains, the picture here explains everything about how you can do it. Thank you so much. Mariam, kindly read the last one, remember the last point.
You don't have to press down on the person's chest very much, only 5 to 6 centimeters. Keep your hand on or his or her chest and allow it to rise up again. You have to do this 100 to 120 times a minute until the person starts breathing again.
Thank you so much. This is the CPR as we see, and I guess you saw that before on television. So we've already done this one. This is an exercise based on the text here. Okay. Let's discuss these questions together. So what must you do first if you find someone who is ill or injured? What do you think? Okay, Hagar.
First, check the area around him.
That's the first thing that you... Does anybody have another opinion?
Personally, I think first you should make sure the person is responsive by, calling out for their name, shouting, see if they reply or not.
And thank you so much, Mohammed, for your answer. As you see here, the first one, check the area around him or her, as Hagar mentioned. Thank you so much. How about the second one? What can you check without touching the person's body?
Signs of infection.
Signs of injuries or infection.
Thank you so much. Let's check the answer. Of course, we are supposed to write it here. You can check for signs of injury or infection first. Exactly. What do you have to do if the person doesn't reply to you? So say that there's a person and he or she does not reply to you. So what must you do?
Check his breathing.
Thank you so much, Mariam. What do you think?
Touch foot and should see he reacts. Remember to check for normal breathing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's check the answer here. Exactly. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, what do you think? When must someone call the emergency service immediately without...
when the injured person doesn't reply to you or he doesn't show any reaction.
Thank you so much. Excellent. Or isn't breathing, or as you mentioned, of course. Thank you so much. How can CPR help somebody? Mohammed, what do you think?
By maintaining their breathing and their heart rate.
Okay, let's check. Thank you so much. I love it when you say something in other words. Thank you so much. Exactly, as it's mentioned here, what you said, of course, is correct, or to help them start breathing once more. Okay, what do you have to check before you perform CPR? Of course, you will not do it in all cases. So what do you think? Yeah, Mariam.
Place your hand on the center.
Okay, but there's something else, huh? How about the others?
Making sure the person is lying on his back on a flat surface or floor.
That's an excellent idea. Thank you so much. Let's check. Okay, this is very important. He or she must be on their back and on a flat surface. This is really important. When can you stop performing CPR? Hagar, what do you think? Now, this is wrong if you do CPR.
Until the person starts breathing again.
Okay, do you all agree?
Yes.
That's we can't repeat the pushing our hands on his or her heart more than 100 to 120 times in a minute.
Amazing. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Now we come to the speaking part. What we are going to do here is that you are going to work in progress and you are going to watch the video and discuss these questions. These are the questions that I would like you to think about, okay, while watching the video. And then after we watch the video, you are going to answer these questions or we'll have a discussion about that. Why do you think it's important to react quickly? This is question number one. Why do you think it is important to follow the instructions for doing CPR carefully? Okay, so think about the two questions while watching the video.
Have you heard of CPR? It's short for cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and it's a technique you perform on a person who isn't responding and isn't breathing. CPR can help someone to stay alive until an ambulance arrives. So, before you start performing CPR on someone, you need to call an ambulance. Then, while you're waiting for the ambulance, you can start performing CPR with your hands. This is the easiest way of performing CPR and the technique that's used the most often. Start by getting down on the floor next to the person and putting the base of your hand on the bone in the center of their chest. Then put your other hand on top of that hand and put the fingers from both hands together. Move so that your shoulders are above your hands and press 5 or 6 centimeters down onto the person's chest. Then keep your hands on the person's chest, but stop pressing on it. The chest will come back up again. Repeat this 100 or 120 times a minute, every minute, until the ambulance arrives.
As you see here, so what do you think? Why do you think it is important to react quickly? What's your point of view about that? I need to hear it. Okay, Mohammed. Yes, please.
Because without performing the steps and without performing CPR, the person could quickly lose blood flow to the brain and it could become lethal. So it's necessary to react quickly and ensure that all the vital functions of the body remain functional while the ambulance comes and takes the patient to the hospital.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, Mariam, what do you think? Why do you think it's important to react quickly?
I think we should react quickly because if we don't he will don't breathing, can't breathing and check, and we should check her body and endure his injuries until the ambulance arrives.
Very good. Because this person who's injured might not be able to breathe well. So you might die. This is what you want to say?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, Hagar, what do you think?
I think reacting quickly is to keep him or her alive, to keep his heart, to perform his heart working again. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Ez, what do you think? Why do you think it is important to follow the instructions of doing CPR carefully? I mean, what might happen if we don't?
He may stop breathing and this may cause severe injuries to him.
Exactly. It might also lead to his or her, huh?
dying.
بس
That's exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is the last exercise for our lesson. You are going to, we're supposed to work in pairs. But anyway, let's discuss the advice for giving first aid. Put it in order with the most important advice at the top of the list. Then find another pair and compare your list. So you are going to work in pairs supposedly, and you are going to discuss, say, for example, that the first thing to do is, like if you look at the speech bubble here, I think we have to stay calm and be careful. This is number one. Someone else would say, no, I think we can do something else. So from your point of view, let's have this as a discussion. From your point of view, what is the most important piece of advice that we have to, about what we have to do here? Let me start first by Az. What's the first thing that we must do from your point of view?
I think we should stay calm and react quickly.
Stay calm, and then after that we can react quickly. Why do you think we have to stay calm?
Because if the person who's doing the CPR is or first aid is nervous, he may do something wrong, which will lead to other injuries.
Excellent, Wallahi. Thank you so much. Mohammed, what do you think? What's your opinion?
I personally agree with Ez. I think the most important thing the person administering the CPR should be doing is staying calm, reacting quickly, and looking around. Observing their surroundings.
Excellent, Wallahi. Thank you so much. Hagar, from your point of view, which is the most important? Or
I
if there's
totally agree with Mohammed and Az. It's really not to be nervous. It's really important. Being calm is will help in doing the CPR carefully and in a good way. That will not result in any injuries or dangerous things.
Thank you so much. Mariam, what else can we do?
I agree with them, but I think we should, if there's someone in the area, we should tell him immediately to call ambulance first. Then we should find gloves or something to put in our hands because in her blood there is an infection or someone don't affect with this.
Very good. So as not to get infected, you mean? That's an excellent idea. Thank you so much. Of course, we are supposed to follow the same thing, add more pieces of advice and so on. The last exercise, as you see here, these are the last two questions. If you don't know how to do first aid now, how could you learn it? Say that you'd like to learn first aid. How can you do it? How can you do that? How can you learn it?
In my opinion, and what I had done, I took a course for the first aid, and I learned a lot.
Excellent.
Actually, I know the CPR and all these things.
Excellent, wallahi, mashallah. Excellent. Okay, who else? If you don't know how to do first aid, how could you learn it? Hiya, Mariam. Say that you want to learn first aid now, like Mariam, like Hagar. What would you do?
I took a course, but
again, you took a course too. That's fine. So here for the gentlemen, Mohammed and as they have never taken any courses of first aid or
personally, I believe that first aid is something that you shouldn't necessarily have to wait until you take a course in it. You should educate yourself on how to do first aid, whether it be on the internet or from a local doctor. But waiting until you take a full months-long course on how to administer first aid, that will only reduce the amount of people who are knowledgeable about this. And I think in the case of an emergency, it's better to have as many people who know what to do as possible.
Very good. So YouTube is the solution for you?
Not just YouTube, but resources that aren't necessarily just 1 month long course, which is obviously expensive and time consuming.
Excellent, Allah. Thank you so much. As what do you think? What could you do to develop your skills? Nearly the same thing. Now you already have taken the. So what would you do?
I think training and practicing in a hospital or any place to perform and be good, doing it in a good way.
Thank you so much, Ed. What would you do? Now you are a professional at first aid. So what would you do? To enhance.
I would do the same as Hagar said. I would go to a hospital. I would go to a hospital and perform it there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. The last thing for our lesson, as we have here, if you go to the top, we have the workbook, and you can go to the workbook and do this exercise, these exercises I need, and we are going to check that next time, inshallah. It has been my pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.